Hey, what's up and welcome to Full Academy. Before we go any further, I want to share my thoughts about how to use this channel. First, this channel is for players of all shapes and sizes, not just those that aspire to become top 10 elite players. Second, my focus will be on providing the fundamental knowledge needed to build strategies and make good decisions. And with that in mind, I'm going to assume that you have some basic knowledge of the game's mechanics, such as the different great buildings that are out there, how to use 1.9 threads, etc. So if you want to learn more about these topics, there are a lot of good videos and channels out there that provide this, and there's no point in me reinventing the wheel and creating yet another video on these topics. Third, I cannot promise that everything presented in these videos is 100% accurate and correct. I'm human and I make mistakes too. But what I do guarantee is that everything I'm presenting has been well thought out and researched. I'm never going to be shooting from the hip and saying stuff like, you need to take your military trio up to level 60, or next you should build a Kraken, without telling you exactly why I would recommend it, showing some numbers, charts, calculations, or providing my rationale for doing that. And that brings me to my final point, which is that any recommendation I provide is going to be context dependent. So please don't quote me as saying things like, FOE Academy said that I need to take the Zeus to level 67 before working on the COA or CDM, because that would be taking me out of context, because you would need to include why I said that, such as, for the attack focused player that is getting a lot of opportunities to fight and earn GBG rewards, the most cost efficient way to increase your attack would be to take the Zeus up to level 67 before working on the COA or CDM. Again, this channel is about teaching you to think things through so that you can make better and more well-informed decisions. Please don't focus on the specific recommendations, because the recommendation might not even be applicable to your style of play. What really matters is the reasoning, thought, and context behind those recommendations. So on to some quick opinions. One question: how will the guild that you select affect your strategy? Well, one of the key functions of a guild is to provide you with opportunities to grow. And you will need to devise a strategy that aligns with the opportunities that your guild provides. If you're in an elite fighting guild, then it might be a good idea to invest in improving your fighting capabilities, because those investments should be able to get a quick return through more fights and more rewards in GBG. In contrast, if you are in a guild that is like my first guild was, where the leaders didn't care about GBG and didn't believe in building siege camps, then it wouldn't make as much sense to go all in on improving your fighting capabilities if your plan is to stay in that guild. Instead, it might be better to invest in your city collections or sniping capabilities. So how did GBG change the game? I hear a lot of very experienced players say that GBG in fact ruined the game. And I'm not going to get into whether the game got better or worse when GBG was introduced, but what I will say is the game was and still is always about Forge Point production. GBG did not change this. It simply offered another avenue or way that players could earn Forge Points, and it increased the importance of activity and attack. Lastly, when it comes to settlements, I think that you need to focus on and prioritize the settlements that align best with your strategy. I hear a lot of people recommending the Japan settlement first because it is easy. But the thing is, the Japan settlement doesn't offer a main prize or a time bonus that gives attack boosts. And so, if you're an attack-focused player, you may be better served by prioritizing Vikings, Aztecs, or Egypt first. I fall into this category, and I completed all three of those settlements, and then went back to Egypt to finish off my third, fourth, and fifth ancient obelisks, which in my opinion is the best 2x2 piece currently available in the game. And I did it this way, again, skipping Japan, because I'm really focused on building up my attack, and I figured that the extra 3 to 4 months that I spent doing the Egyptian settlements, 10 through 20, were actually a better use of my time than completing the Japan settlement or the Neo-Mugo settlement. However, if you have a different playing style, for example, if you're a player that focuses on city collections, then completing the Japan or Mugo settlement may be better than going after more attack. So that brings us to the end of this episode on how to use this channel. Please hit the like button and join me for episode 1.